We all know about the internet. We use it in our daily routines to ease our jobs, sometimes for the entertainment, music and whatnot. But have you ever think of what's the origin of the internet, how it was formed during old times, which was the first ever website that went online, and when it becomes this much popular? Well, in this video, we are going on a journey of the internet. Now, what is the internet? The internet is generally defined as a global network connecting millions of computers. It connects computers together globally, forming a network in which any computer can communicate with any other computer as long as they want. Internet is the technology which is so huge and ever-changing, but you might think that who really invented the internet? Well, it is impossible to credit the invention of the internet to a single person. The internet was the work of dozens of pioneering scientists, programmers and engineers who each developed new features and technologies that eventually merged out to become huge network information highway, or what we call the internet. Numerous untruths have been spread about the origin of the internet. It's not one-man army development, but instead many scientists has coined the concept of the internet. Nikola Tesla came up with the idea of a world wireless system in the early 1900s. And then in early 1960s, MIT's J.C.R. Licklider also popularized the idea of an intergalactic network of computers. Shortly after the concept of internet and network was originated, computer scientists developed the idea of packet switching, a method for effectively transmitting electronic data. Now this packet switching method uses the binary code. Binary code is a computer language that transfers data in zeros and ones. Besides, it was just a theory. But in late 1960s, US government came up with a project called DARPA. It went on and on to create the earliest version of the internet called ARPANET, or the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. ARPANET was not really the internet. Yes, because one computer cannot communicate to other computer with the help of ARPANET. Instead, programmers were able to share resources by remotely accessing the computers. At that time, computers were huge as room and it was difficult to transfer data from one computer to another and vice versa. Networks that time couldn't talk to each other, so no possible communication between two computers. But in 1970s, we had a critical breakthrough in computer networking that fixed the problem of communication between computers. Thanks to Winton Cerf and Bob Kahan, they invented the method called TCP/IP, or Transmission Control Protocol. This method is a communication model that sets standards for how data could be transmitted between two multiple networks. At the same time, the first internet service provider was born, known as Telnet, with the introduction of the commercial version of ARPANET. ARPANET adopted TCP/IP on January 1st, 1983, and from there, researchers began to assemble the network of networks that became the modern internet. Still, it was not that modern, because at that time, a handful of computers in governments, universities, and business adopted the TCP/IP. After that, it increased to hundreds, and now in span of almost 50 years, billions of computers. Now, let's get back to history. The Stanford University network was the first local area network connecting distant workstations. In mid to somewhat around late 80s, people around the world could send data to one another with the help of TCP/IP, but that was limited to just text. People often get confused by typing IP addresses for surfing websites. And we all know humans' mind is not good at remembering numbers than words. TCP/IP protocol uses an address version called IPv4 or Internet Protocol version 4 to reach the specific website. So to make job easy, a new concept was introduced in 1983 named Domain Name System. The DNS is used for naming website so human can understand it, like .com, .org, .net and so on. So if you write google.com, DNS will then transfer domain name to its respected IP address and redirect you to Google page. During that time period, Symbolics.com, the website for Symbolics Computer Corporation in Massachusetts, became the first registered domain on the internet. Still, internet was not recognized technology, but it took a sudden change in graph in 1990 when computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web or WWW. Some people get often confused that World Wide Web is the internet, but it's not. The web is basically the common means of accessing data online in the form of websites and hyperlinks on the internet. The first ever website went live on the August 6, 1991. It was used for giving information on the World Wide Web project and was made by Tim Berners-Lee. For the fact, it's still up and running. Internet became popular amongst the public due to the web and developed a massive bucket of information that people can access on their daily routines. In 1992, the first audio and video are distributed over the internet instead of only text. People started using the internet on the daily basis, and the phrase surfing the internet was popularized across the internet. Around 93, total of 600 websites were online, and US government also put their hands on the internet. During that period, Mark Anderson developed the first ever web browser named Mosaic Web Browser at the University of Illinois, and the total number of computers connected to the internet were increased to 2 million. After that, new era of internet was born. The period of 1994 to 2000 was rapid growth for the internet. In 1994, Microsoft created its first web browser for Windows 95, and in the same time Yahoo was born. Amazon and eBay were founded and was gone online in 1995. Even first ever online dating website was created called Match.com. Again, a major breakthrough we had on the internet was Google, which changed the way users engage with the internet. Google was massive success for contributing the growth of the World Wide Web. At that time, internet speed were too slow compared to what we have right now. Still, we didn't cover many aspects and concepts which helped to build the internet for what it is today. But this is not it. Stay tuned for our part 2 of this video, in which we will discuss about today's and the future of the internet. Till then, thanks for watching. If you like our video, give the thumbs up, consider subscribing, and see you next time.